Today's episode, I want to share with you some records that came in the mail, some CDs, some things I've added, and also a cool gift that someone sent me. I haven't really been able to go to record stores in a few years now because I have kids and life is really busy. So my only extension of shopping is really on eBay, and I'm always looking for deals. So here's a record I wanted for a long time. This is Fleet Foxes. Now, I've been a big fan of them for so many years, very folky, artistic, acoustic, harmonies. If you know them, you know them. I haven't had the first one because the first one, you know, this was in, I want to say 2008. I actually showed the wrong record in one of my reels. And this one I had heard many times, and so I was kind of like, oh, I already heard that one, but it was good to get it in the collection, kind of concluding my Fleet Foxes collection. You know, there's a few other ones that are out there. I just ordered a 2020 live performance. $6. I got that one's coming in the mail. Also, it was my birthday in August, and my brother-in-law bought me Radiohead, the Bends. Look at how much this was, $40. I'm like, you spent this much on a record for me? Thank you so much. My brother-in-law, Luke, he's the coolest guy. He loves music, and so we connect on that. Gus loves music too, so yeah, this album is really good because it reminds me of the 90s when I was a teenager, and you know, I loved my summer vacations because I got to stay up late and watch late night TV. I was a big fan of Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien, and Conan would have bands. He would actually have a lot of odd bands, and looking back, like, he did introduce me to a lot of music, and Radiohead was one of them. So I really enjoyed that album. Then I got another George Harrison, Dark Horse. I was almost not going to get this one because I've heard that people didn't like it, but I listened to side A. I like it. It's George Harrison. So I don't know what it was that people didn't like. Maybe there's not like a hit, but the overall experience was really cool. Then, I got an Elvis record. You know what? There's not a lot of romance out there, guys. Where's the love movies? Where's the romance? Elvis was singing a beautiful love song. I think it was Remember Me. And I looked for the record because I'm like, Elvis was a very romantic voice. He would sing very romantic songs. And so got this one. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but this is in. You know, I was kind of hesitant with older Elvis because he's kind of like going through that downward spiral. But this, I saw a clip on YouTube and it sounded absolutely great. And then I just got this. Now, this album was shared on Vinyl in the Milky Way's YouTube channel. I love his taste in music. I'm sorry, I love everything he shares. And he shared this. I never heard of this. This is Ivy, and I guess they're a band in the 2000s, kind of like a little bit of the Sundays, Maisie Star-ish, and they just came out with a new album. The story is the bass player passed away, and they had pieces of this album, and they put it together, Traces of You. And so I really loved the sweetness of the song. So there's some stuff, there's some albums I gotta get that are from the 2000s that they made that I thought that would be really cool to get, but this was just released, so it was easy to find. I think it was $25. It wasn't expensive. Oh, then as for some pre-orders, they'll come in November. I did order the Wings album that came out on CD. It was $25. They have some collection editions, $150, and I know some of you who have been long Wings fans are kind of disappointed because it was something you kind of already have. But hey, for the new generation, we don't have it, and it's expensive. We can't find it. I'd rather have the old stuff, so send me your old Wings stuff. I'll gladly accept it. And Purity Ring is a band I loved from the 2010s. It's kind of electronica music, and they have a new album out, so you're going to be able to find it at Target. I ordered mine on Target, so it's coming in the mail, and I'm sure you can stream a few per singles. This was sent to me by Mikey in New Jersey. He's been a VC member for a long time, sharing his CDs and his love for music, Johnny Cash, Taylor Swift. He likes country. And so he sent this, the John Lennon collection. He said he had an extra CD, sent it on over. Thank you so much. And congratulations, he just got married. So he is in a new chapter in life, and I'm so glad he had time to send this to me. Of course, I had to get another Beatles item. This is a 10 CD, small box set. $30 off Amazon of rock and roll history, live and rare, of 1962 to 1966. There's a lot on here. I've gone through the first 2 discs. You get interviews of the Beatles they're just so new and young, and you get to hear that the early days. You have the Decca demos as well, even the Tony Sheridan tracks. There's a lot. I haven't even gone through all of it, but John just really talked about the early days, and he just loved, I guess, how like real and raw and rock and roll it was. I'm like, I gotta hear some of that. So it was cool to hear some of the early days stuff, and then it goes all the way to 1966. So excited for this one. This would be really cool to listen to just as I'm hanging out with the Beatles. After hearing some interviews from John, and I haven't even gone through all these, but these are just some interviews. There was a host of a radio show, and so I get to dig deep into John Lennon. Now, I've been reading a lot about the Beatles in the anthology book, and I found this one, which is How They Became the Beatles. This fills in a lot of questions I had from the anthology book. I didn't know who certain people were, who were these clubs, and you get a lot of context of Liverpool, that they were kind of up and coming in these rock groups, and back then they were called beat groups, and the Beatles being one of them. So we are introduced to the Beatles as the Quarrymen, which later became the Silver Beatles, which later became the Beatles. Also, I thought this was really neat. I got sent some really cool books. I mean, I had never heard of these, and they're like little comics. Look at, there's all these different adventures. I don't know if you guys ever heard of these. Probably a music head who loves music just like us, and to read little adventures he's having. He also sent this one, Riot Woman. So thank you so much. It says, Monica, enjoy these. I live near the publisher and got them for free. So my goodness, thank you for sharing some cool things that your neighbor gave you. And I thought this was so awesome. Look at this. That guy's throwing up. And I just want to give some shout outs who've been so nice to me. So Steve Carlson, he invited me to the table and said, come over here and talk. And it's just, that just means the world to me, because I always need friends like that who are like, hey, come over here. Yeah, you're over there alone. Come over here. Also, Barracuda P. Dabs over there in Texas, Paul. He's been really, again, he invited me to the table as well, and he's super smart and engineer, and I love watching his videos because I'm always learning something new. I'm going to just say all the Steves. Steve in New Jersey, you're such a big encouragement when it comes to my CD collection and music and concerts and stuff. You're always sharing really cool things. And then Steve in Pasadena, the cook, the chef. He's always inspiring me to cook, but then also teaching me a lot about buying and selling records. He always has really good tips. There's also another Steve up in Washington. He doesn't do a YouTube channel, but he shares on his Instagram stuff about the Beatles, and so he's been really helpful. And then Christian over there, I think in Chicago, he's been really nice about the Beatles as well, sharing, hey, you got to get this album or that album, or hey, you're really going to like this album. So thank you to those guys, and also to Marissa in Mexico. She just started a YouTube channel. You have to check her out. She has been like a friend ever since I started this YouTube channel. I don't know how she found me, but she's been a big encouragement throughout the whole process, and I've seen her just develop as a person, and she's a traveler, and she loves music too. And we have very similar taste in music, but she has a different stuff in her collection where it really does invite me to new artists that I never knew before. So it's been really cool throughout the years being here on YouTube. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you just have a great autumn. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.